Hello, everybody. Matt, you're always so musical. It bugs the shit out of me how musical you are.
Because I'm doodly dooting over here. That's how we start the musicalness.
Well, it's like, do you have? By the way, it's Bernie. We're here with Matt Hullum, our CEO.
Hello.
Everybody. How long have we known each other now?
300 years.
No, I'm serious. How long is it really?
It actually has been. 23 years.
It's like going on
24?
25 years. Yeah. It's that's. I think you reach a certain point, we just start rounding up.
Yeah.
Yeah. After that,
rounding off.
After 25, we're just gonna say 50.
We've hit the ceiling.
That's impossible.
We have to not know each other after this.
It really doesn't seem possible.
Yeah.
Little known fact, I taught Matt how to edit, apparently.
That's 100% true.
That's crazy.
That's 100% true. On an old-timey AB machine, the AB roll.
It was 2 tape decks.
This is before
the
digital
controller.
Anything.
Yeah.
There was nothing digital ever. Not even a Casio calculator didn't exist. You couldn't write boobs and turn it upside down.
That's not true. That totally existed.
That's the main reason to have a calculator, isn't it?
I wrote hello. I was a good kid. I didn't go around writing boobs.
No to that. You're no fun.
I was went down to the TV station. I'd worked there about a year.
Yeah.
And there was only, I think, like 8 of us working at the TV station.
If that.
Yeah.
And they weren't really working. There were more bats than people.
This is the University of Texas. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't even realize how rabid bats are back then. I don't think we realized that at the time.
Yeah.
Like we'd push them out with our hands, like get them out of this.
And they weren't like friendly, fun bats, like the kind you'd have on a logo for a sports team. They were like vicious, snarling, blood drip. It was Dracula.
There's no
there was
point
like 7 Draculas down there
at which a bat is approachable. Like when they fly, first of all, they don't look like they should be flying because they just flap like fucking crazy.
They look like they can't fly.
Yeah.
When they fly.
They look like they're faking it.
That's not happening at all.
A bird will soar. Even a bird, if it's indoors, like, do you see a bird in the grocery store? Got trapped in there? Kids are always fascinated by that, by the way. They get freaked out about a bird that gets trapped in a grocery store.
What grocery store are you going to now?
You go to like Whole Foods or something.
And there's birds flying around inside.
Has anyone ever seen a bird in a grocery store before? Am I the only person who's ever seen a bird? Look at that. Thumbs up from the control room.
Okay.
You're out of touch, Matt.
Sorry.
You're out of touch.
I guess I don't go grocery shopping.
In your ivory tower office.
I'm too much favor in my life.
But birds will soar. Bats don't soar. Like when I go see the bats at Congress, they look like they're flying because there's so many of them.
They're falling with style.
They're just flapping. They just flap, flap, flap. And then if they land, their hands are at like the pivot of their wing, and they do this number.
I like that. I like that they have the hands on the wings.
So gross.
Because that seems like God just couldn't decide. Do you get wings or do you get hands? You know what? Give them both. Let's see what happens. And it turns out nothing good.
Just like a rat that had like a little bit of extra skin here, and then over time it evolved.
It's like the Simpsons episode where was it like the evil Bart made the pigeon rats? Do you guys remember? Somebody remembers that?
Oh, I was gonna just talk to Gus about this, but did I ever tell you when I was a kid I used to microwave mosquitoes and release them?
Oh my God!
My hope was that.
Were you never chaperoned?
Never.
At all?
No.
Your parents were just never around.
Dude, my kids, I was like, I think I was home by myself when I was like 6 on. And I would never have left my kids alone.
They didn't have the internet.
No.
So where did you get the napalm recipe?
So this whole set of stories. So a buddy of mine had an Atari computer, like an Atari 800. His name was Nero Patel.
That's a fake name.
Yeah, totally fake name. No, it's a real name. And his older brother, who I don't remember his name, he had an Atari.
Both characters from Spartacus.
we downloaded the Anarchist.
Atari. Yes, Nero.
He had like a 300 baud
Ready
modem.
the napalm.
It took us like 2 days to download a text file that was the Anarchist Cookbook. Remember that? The Anarchist Cookbook?
Yeah.
There's 2 things in the 80s.
FBI remembers too.
Yeah. 2 things in the 80s.
You're on a list, buddy.
Growing up was like complete contraband. One was the Anarchist Cookbook, and the other was Faces of Death. The video,
I remember that,
which now that's like a subreddit,
right?
You know, just where you can go and watch people who get killed in accidents, and stuff like that. But you would have to go to the back of a video store. It was like an urban legend, this Faces of Death thing.
I feel like that's every subreddit, though. Like Hold My Beer is basically that.
Oh, everybody's just dying?
It's just hilarious.
It would be interesting to see the number of internet videos where the person at the end just dies. Then you just don't know it because they cut it off.
You don't ever know.
Like the guy slips on the ice and bangs his head, and you're like, ha ha, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then he died 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I got to break something down for you here.
Okay.
I got Ashley over here, and I have run into a bit of an issue with Ashley.
What? Is it when you say actually, she thinks you're saying her name?
No, I do call her
That
actually
happens
now.
all the time.
Yeah.
Constantly. Strangers.
I call her actually around the house. That's what I do. I say actually when I want to get her name. Yeah. So this eclipse is coming up. Are you guys doing anything for the eclipse?
You know, I was thinking about doing something for the eclipse, and then I realized I was too lazy, and it's not going to happen.
Well, you're in luck anyway because both of our kids they start school the day of the fucking eclipse.
That's true.
It's the same day.
That's true.
So
that's got to be like a sign of the apocalypse.
well, oh, it is for a kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
You go to school and the sun goes
The
out.
sun goes out. Yeah. if you're directly in the path, isn't it true that all the hotels? Am I going to preempt your thing?
No.
All the hotels in the line of the eclipse are like rented out. You can't get a hotel.
Oh, is that true?
Like, it goes from like what, Washington State to South Carolina or something like that?
Yeah, it goes
Is the
goes
line?
the other way. It goes South Carolina to Washington, but yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't get a hotel anywhere in there.
Well, we have been looking at going to a number of different places.
Have you?
One of the places I talked about on the podcast earlier, one of the places we were considering going, that was the actual plan, was to go to Salt Lake City, right, Ashley?
Oh, is that
Yeah,
is
well,
that
the
it?
original plan, I think you wanted to go to Nashville.
Oh, is that okay? Good. I'm glad you remember that being the original plan. But we pivoted. At some point, the plan was to go to Salt Lake City,
Pivot.
which I don't know if you know this or not. Ashley is from Salt Lake City.
I do know that.
So her family lives in that area.
Yep.
And then we were going to drive from there.
Beautiful land.
Mountainous.
Beautiful area.
Too hot.
Beautiful people from the beautiful land.
It's really too hot. She lives in the middle of nowhere too. She like lived in this like little
Was it Ogden?
mud puddle valley.
Yeah, it was outside of Ogden. It was like a 30-minute drive either up a canyon or over the mountain pass.
Wow.
Yeah, when you're 30 minutes outside of Ogden.
Yeah, they don't even name it.
You're out there.
You're just like, go past the mountain.
I actually told a really terrible story about
The
growing up.
mountain people.
Speaking about being left alone, it gets really cold in Utah,
Yeah.
and her dog froze to death.
Dogs, multiple.
Oh,
really?
Oh, Lord.
And she had to
It's like a Game of Thrones episode.
she had to pull him out of
What's going on?
the permafrost. She had to pull him out, rip him out.
I had to shovel them out of the ice because their bodies melted the ice when they died and then froze.
Well,
And before my little brother, little sister saw it.
and then what'd you do with them?
I don't remember.
You really? You
I
buried
just,
them or
I just
tied 'em?
remember. I just remember chipping them out of the ice and being really sad about it.
How old were you?
Oof.
I don't know, 9.
Oh my god,
Oh.
that's terrible.
Ooh.
We just lost our fish. Did we tell you that at our house?
You had the fish pond.
Yeah,
Not fish like in a tank, right?
No, not fish tank. Fish
Yeah.
like those 3 fish that were in the pond.
Yeah.
They all died.
Just
So
of natural causes or some foul play involved?
it was innocent foul play, but it was definitely the fault of a human.
I could tell you. I suspect the bats
They were with their flappy wings.
came down with their wing hands.
Also, why is the bat's wings? Why are they so veiny? It's so gross.
Oh, that's just not a good word.
It's just gross,
Yeah.
dude. It's so gross. So, not to go back too far off the topic.
Why
of
would we be
how
off
Ashley
topic?
messed up our eclipse trip?
So Eclipse.
But I at that TV station where the bats were, that's when I taught an editing class, and one of the people who took the editing class, I didn't remember this, but Matt Holm took it.
Yeah,
A young-
I'm
young
so
film student.
glad I made such a big impression on you right out of the gate.
Listen, the teacher-student relationship is one that's imbalanced,
Yeah.
to say the least.
I wasn't a hot co-ed, so was not on the list to be remembered.
How dare you?
That's
That
for
was
sure.
my sexual health peer advisor job. So we were going to Utah, and then I had a brilliant idea when I thought it was not the 21st of August, but I thought it was the 18th of August. There's so many bad websites
Oh my gosh.
associated with this eclipse.
I'm getting mad.
But there are. They're just like, they don't even tell you the dates. They'll tell you where anything is.
Well, that's true.
Even the NASA one's kind of garbagey, which I get because NASA's
Get
got
your
no money.
shit together, NASA.
There you go, brothers.
Come on.
What's that? What are you doing?
That won't.
Oh, okay,
that
thanks.
won't inspire hate tweets.
Brandon was making the international sign for match, which will come up here in a second. Here, you can give it to me, Brandon. Everyone wants to see you and say hello. Thank you, buddy. Where'd you get these?
Cameron.
All right.
Did you
good to
say
know.
camping?
Cameron.
Oh, that makes
So-
more sense than camping.
We were gonna go to Salt Lake City.
Yes.
I had the brilliant idea. Let's call your dad and make it like a family thing, and let's
Oh
go.
boy.
He got
Right.
super excited about it.
So let's take the boys. My dad hasn't met the boys yet. None of my
Yep.
family has. He's really looking forward to it. I've been meaning to for years now. And so Bernie contacted my dad, which is a very sweet move.
With the wrong date. So then I found out.
Well, you didn't know the date of the eclipse?
No, because these shitty websites I went to, something told me it was on the 18th of August. And so then we found out the kids couldn't go because they had his first day of school. They can't
Yep.
miss the first day of school.
Well-
I wonder if the kids will even get let out of school to look at the damn thing.
Well, I remember being in school as a kid and there was an eclipse. And they were like, run outside and go stare at the sun. Right?
I got goggles.
Didn't that happen?
Yeah.
Did you have goggles?
They do the paper plate.
They had paper plate.
You poke the hole in the paper plate.
Paper plate or the thing that you look down. So there's like basically the shadow of it.
Yeah, I think that's paper
Which
plate.
is kind of stupid. It's like that is shadow.
Yeah.
You know?
It is weird to get hyped about something you can't look at.
You can't look at.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
But I went online and I got tons of these like special goggles.
For some reason, I thought somewhere in this story it was going to be revealed that somebody was a flat earther.
She made that comment the other day
And
that she said it's amazing how flat the world is, and I was like, well, don't say that.
Oh, come on. You're taking that out of context. We were looking like out at the ocean and it's just like a flat line all the way across. And I was thinking about the statistic that if you were to scale the Earth down to like a cue ball size, it would be smoother than a cue ball.
It is. That's true. The standard deviation from
it's a nice flat surface. Just because it's round doesn't mean it's not flat.
You say flat.
Yeah.
You have two young, impressionable minds around you all the time. You can't go around talking about the Earth being
Matt
flat.
and Bernie, two young, impressionable minds.
They're not listening to me. They're playing PUBG with you. They're saving you constantly. You're sending them into the line of fire.
So here's the problem where I've got now.
Okay,
Matt.
I want to hear this.
So it's looking. This eclipse is literally like next weekend. We got to make the travel plans to go do this. It's looking
It's
like
not
we're
literally next weekend.
Well, it's
on the 18th.
Well, no, we've got to travel the weekend of. Travel day's the 18th. And now it looks like we can't go to Salt Lake City. I mean, we could slum it here in Austin and get that 70% eclipse, but who wants that?
Disgusting.
So we got to go
disgusting 70%.
Somewhere to see 100% eclipse.
Of course you do.
Yeah. Now it looks like we can't go. So now whose responsibility do you think it is to talk to Ashley's dad and say, hey, we have to change our plans or we're not going to be able to come to this trip that you're super excited about? Should it be the daughter that he raised for 18 years? Or should it be some guy that she knows?
Some random, could be any random guy.
Yeah, it's some dude with a hat.
Just
like that's what I am.
Maybe somebody will send him a link to this podcast. Problem solved.
We got to tell him before this goes on YouTube, I think. You should tell him before it goes on YouTube.
You're the one who contacted my dad and got him all excited to go on a road trip and get his trailer out of storage and
Did
go
he get his trailer out of storage? Did he?
Probably.
Oh shit.
It's probably airing out right now. You know how excited he gets about these things. And I want to be clear, I have not been in contact with him at all. My dad texts him more than I do. I'm a terrible daughter. But you contacted him. You got his hopes up. You let them down again.
Boy.
Also, by the way, I got a text from my sister because he's talking to all my family about the fact that we're coming now.
Oh, no. Damn. That's bad. That's bad.
All this is a setup for you having to do an even bigger trip.
Somebody just followed me
with
that
Ashley's
from your family. That's not a joke.
Who?
Are you serious?
I think like one of your cousins just followed me.
What?
Just notified me.
Is that actually true?
I think that might actually be true.
Well, my dad's
actually.
My dad's just figured out Twitter.
Yeah. It's good.
Could be him.
Do you talk to? How often are you like in contact with Anna's parents? Your lovely wife, Anna.
Never met him before.
No, really?
I've seen
you
pictures.
avoided the whole thing.
I've seen pictures. I hear they're nice.
You know what I was thinking about the other day? Is it fair to say there has been pressure on you over the years when you moved to Austin for school?
Yeah.
Originally being from Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Lovely city. Lovely city.
It is.
Moved to Austin for school.
Yes.
Anna went to school in Tennessee?
Somewhere in America.
Ish?
Memphis, Tennessee.
Was it Memphis-ish area? That area. And her plan initially was to always move back to Atlanta. Then you were in Austin, but then you went even further away. You went all the way to L.A.
That's right.
And then made your way back to Austin.
That's right. I thought I might just move out to like a houseboat in the middle of the Pacific. Just keep going. See how far I could go.
Go to the antipode of Atlanta.
I'm not going to go as far as Guam because that won't exist soon. But, just see what happens.
Are you worried about that? Maybe I don't have to talk to Ashley's dad.
Well, well, maybe not.
Maybe just Trump and Korea will get mad at each other.
Yeah, maybe
we'll be done.
Yeah.
Are you worried about it? Because I think for a lot of young people, this is the first time in their life that people have said the words nuclear war.
Right. And I was trying to think about it in the context of when we grew up, which was during the Cold War.
Oh, we talked about it like every other day.
Yeah. And I remember when I was a kid, we thought, I feel like we thought like every week there could be a nuclear war. And there was always stuff in popular culture
TV
in the
shows.
media. Lots of TV shows. I remember like movies that were like The Day After or
The Day After was horrifying.
right, or all those kinds of movies that were like it's gonna happen, just when, right?
Yeah.
And we haven't been in that headspace, just in the public mindset in a long time, and so it's weird just to have people talking about it. Like before you can even think about it, like, is it real? Is it something to be concerned about? It's just like it's weird. Like we're in the future, right? I feel like we're in the future. Like we're at the point where we have autonomous cars. I started an article today about the airlines are ready to just turn over planes to autonomous flying.
Yeah.
Because
but will people fly in them?
But
It's
will
like
people fly in them?
Most planes are autonomous for like 95%
Right.
of the trip. Autopilot's the word that everyone uses for that.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But I you always think like, okay, well, what do we get out of the future? We get flying cars and we get robots and we get all this stuff. And it seems like, all of our problems are solved. But no, our problems aren't solved because there's still like crazy people. What are your thoughts?
To me, the big shift that took place in the 80s, and it might have been a little bit before that, was if you look at movies, there was, I think, a turning point in which when people talked about the future, it was all about how we were going to build big, incredible things.
Right.
And then it shifted to, in the future, when the world is destroyed. And there was a
Right.
shift. It's
Right.
like with the Jetsons, we were living in the sky and everything. Star Trek, we're exploring the stars. Everything in the 80s is like when the nuclear holocaust happened in 1997. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it's
Right.
like everything became that. Everyone's view of the future became apocalypse.
Right.
And that's stuck for a long time. Like that has been pervasive. But this talk of like nuclear war and everything, no, not really.
Not really.
Yeah.
It was just kind of an ambiguous apocalypse, or like every apocalypse thing is the same. Like even ours, like the apocalypse thing is like always, something's missing. It's water or fuel. Day 5, it's sleep. Right? Something's missing. Sanity is not usually the thing that's missing.
Truth.
Right? But that is what's missing right now.
Well, I think
is
right now we have the
sanity.
evaporation of truth. Like no one can say that anything is true. Like,
Right.
there's nothing anymore that can
That's
be
factual.
an accepted fact.
Well, I tell you what, we're gonna have this eclipse on the 18th, and then we'll see what's true and what's not.
Did you read the weird stat that the eclipse path goes over all like Trump counties? That's just like a weird thing.
Oh, come
I'm sure
on.
somebody in the Huffington Post
Oh, come
saw
on.
that. They were like, I have my headline
Oh,
for
come
today.
on.
Thank God. This is it. I can talk about this. So, what are we going to do, Ashley? Can we tell your dad that it's nuclear war and that we're scared?
Are you trying to get out of telling my dad anything? That's what it sounds like.
I will talk to him. Do you want me to text him right now?
That is
Text him right now.
that's a great excuse though.
Nuclear war?
Can't make it. Got to build a bunker.
I can see what he'll say here.
Duck and cover. Sorry, pops. Good. That's a good excuse if you're looking for an excuse.
Oh gosh, I don't want to send this text. I'm gonna try to help you.
Send
Help me
it.
write this. It looks like
You
we
texting
might
him right
have
now?
to change plans. Yeah, I'm gonna text him right now. Change plans. Ashley is very sorry. Can I throw you under the
How
bus?
dare you?
That it's her fault. Slanted smiley emoji.
Oh man,
Is that good? You going to see the emoji movie?
slanted smile. Well, John invited me apparently.
Have your kids not dragged you to see the emoji movie?
Thank God they have not.
Good. You have better kids than I do. Yeah.
I'll tell them that.
My kids took me to the emoji movie.
Did they really?
Ashley went too. Opening day.
I did.
Wow. Opening and
never
closing
been the
day, same
same.
day. It's amazing.
It was terrible, dude. It's unfucking believable.
Yeah,
Do you watch Silicon Valley?
but I do.
TJ Miller left Silicon Valley to work on stuff like the emoji movie.
I know.
It's just like, I keep bringing this up, but it's just baffling to me. He had seen the movie. He had been in the movie. He knew. He must have
knew what the
known.
movie was going to be
Yeah,
before he made that decision.
and he was excited.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
You got to listen.
I don't know what to say there.
It's worth it from a cultural basis to go see it. Okay, here's what I'm writing your dad. It looks like we might have to change plans. What I don't know what else to say.
Are you going to
just say-
apologize for getting his hopes up?
So
Wrong number.
Yeah.
New phone. Who dis?
sorry.
Say, it's all my fault. I am the worst. I am not the best.
Looks like we might have to change plans if that's the case.
So he's
Oh
so I got-
God!
while he's busy
I don't want to do
lying
this.
to your father.
I'm not lying.
What I want to know is like, what kind of guy is your dad? Is he like, will he take retribution on Bernie as he should?
No,
Or-
Her dad's super nice.
he'll be nice. He'll put his trailer back in storage.
Oh,
He'll say, it's fine. We'll see you again some other time. How long has it been since you've been home? Oh, more than a year.
I
That's your
can't-
You're the child, though. I'm just the guy in the hat.
Yeah,
You're
but he
just-
wouldn't be sad right now if you hadn't got his hopes up, Bernie.
I don't know.
I have a strategy, and it's just ongoing, constant disappointment. I try not to break that trend.
Do you think you're a bad daughter?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You know,
Bernie, their Christmas presents are still next to your car.
that is true. That is true. There's a box in the garage that I have to step over every time I go to get my car, and it's the Christmas presents.
From last Christmas.
Well, yeah, not from next Christmas. You could just double up this coming Christmas.
I'm considering it. They're already wrapped.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Just make them Eclipse presents.
Why do you think you're like that?
We can make a new holiday. Everybody give each other a present on the Eclipse.
I mean, I spent enough time like overseas that it was like there are no Christmas presents. There's no urgency to pretty much any of it. I'm not going to see you for years at a time, and that's okay. I moved back. I never quite got back into the habit of like they're seeable, if that makes sense.
What?
Like, you know, when you get like I was thousands and thousands and thousands of miles away, and
Yeah.
it would have been
When you lived in Australia.
24 hours of traveling to come see them. So I saw them twice the whole time I lived overseas, and when I moved back, that never changed, just because they were closer.
I get it. So you got in the habit of just not being in the habit of seeing them. Is that
Yeah,
a good way to put it?
yeah. Although they also don't come visit me, and I have a chip on my shoulder about that one.
In
let
the
me tell
future,
you.
it's a lot faster if you just say terrible daughter. It's a lot faster.
I said that earlier. How many? I mean, yeah, terrible.
So
But clearly, you feel like you have some liberty
what?
to not. Well, let me finish.
Go ahead.
To you're not overly concerned about pissing off her family
I'm very concerned about it. What makes you think that I'm not concerned about
because
it?
you're not doing this thing that you could do.
But then we go to Salt Lake City. Actually, no. Listen, it was explained to me by her dad.
But it sounds like her dad is a very forgiving gentleman,
He is.
and he won't hold it against you.
I hope not.
See, with Anna's family, so like
Get
half
those links ready.
half Anna's family, half of Anna's family is Sicilian,
Right.
right? So there's really there's nothing you can do there, right? You got to be all in or all out. Have I ever told you like her like ancestors? Right? Maybe I told this story on the podcast. I can't remember now about her ancestors coming to the United States from Italy. From Sicily.
I don't think I know this story.
Yes? Okay,
This is the big trap, by the way, with podcast stories. The other person goes, "No, I've never heard this."
Yeah, well, I probably told this then, but so like her great grandfather or great uncle or something like that, like 100 years ago, immigrated to when they immigrated to the U.S. It was like because her I'm gonna say great uncle. I don't remember what it was. I'm gonna say great uncle. His wife had an affair with like his cousin or something.
Oh, I know this story.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he caught them and was going to kill them, I guess. And not, I guess, he was going to fucking kill them. And so they hightailed it and they were like, let's go try this new continent over there. Let's go to America. So they get over there and they had kids already. Right. So it takes the babies and they end up in the U.S.
You took the guys. They took the guy's kids too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's like, well, fuck this. Right. And he's like a farmer in Sicily. And he's like, I'm just going to hunt these people down. I don't know where they went, but he saved his money when he bought like this pearl handled pistol. And then he follows them to New York or New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah. Follows them to New York and New Jersey. And then he spends like 15 years like walking the streets of New York trying to find them to kill them.
Just to run into them.
Just to run into them because he had no idea where they were. He knew they were somewhere because everybody went in through Ellis Island.
Yeah.
So somewhere there. So he's like walking the streets for like 15 years with this pearl handled pistol where he had specially like designated like, this bullet with your name on it kind of thing. Right.
Wow.
And after 15, 20 years, can't find him, but the kids find him. Right. And they're like, Dad, what are you doing? Well, we thought, you were dead or whatever. It's like, figure the whole thing out. It's like, well, listen, You're not going to kill mom. We're not going to tell you where she is. You know, this is crazy. Let us take you back home.
To Italy.
Right? And so, you know, let's get over this vengeance thing. And
15 years.
Right.
Just get over it.
Right. And when the kids had time to grow up during this thing, right? So it's all by boat, right? So it's like, I don't know how long, 3 months, 4 months on a boat.
Right.
So they go back from New York back to Sicily. Get back there's a lavender farmer. Isn't that a great image? So many great images in this. Pearl-handled pistol on lavender farmer. Lavender farmer.
Is lavender a flower? It's purple.
So, sure.
It's a purple farm.
Sounds good.
Okay.
So it gets back to his purple flower farm. And and it had been like taken over by all their surrounding farms, like, you know, like basically
Sure.
it had been
gone.
It had been divvied up. Like it'd been gone for 10, 15 years, right?
Yeah.
So he goes back. So he has nothing. Right? There's nothing there. It's like, well, you know what? I'm screwed. Can't live here anymore. I have a little bit of you know, life going on in New York, so I'm going to go back there. Tries to go back. In the meantime, he has developed glaucoma.
Okay.
Which at the time was something they prevented you from entering the United States if you had.
Glaucoma?
Yes.
Okay.
You get to Ellis Island, they're like, oh, you have glaucoma? Nope, not happening.
Is that what
So-
the puff? In
Yeah, I don't know.
the air
Who
puff?
knows what they did then.
The air puff?
Yeah. They probably just like thunked you in the eye or something. I don't know.
Give you a good solid
Yeah.
thumping.
But he gets all the way back. So it's like years and years of traveling, right? It's not like, you know, today it's like you didn't hop on a jet and he's over there. It's like you're on a filthy, like, he's probably in steerage, you know, like the people who died on the Titanic. That's him.
Yeah.
Right? In the bottom of the ship.
Yeah.
You know, with the rats. And finally makes it back all the way to Ellis Island. And they're like, no, we see that you lived here before, but you have glaucoma now. So get the fuck out.
Go back.
Go back. And so he goes back to Sicily and he just dies a pauper.
Wow.
Yeah.
All because his wife slept with her cousin?
Yeah.
Honestly, if that happened, I'd be like, I dodged a bullet there. If I married somebody who's sleeping with their cousin.
Yeah. Or
Was it his cousin or her cousin?
Both.
Does it matter? Probably.
Right.
Probably the same.
Right. So basically, I can't fuck with that side of the family.
Yeah, we're going to go to
You
Salt
know?
Lake for the eclipse, Ashley. That's the plan now. We're going to Salt Lake after that story.
So the lesson is don't fuck with my dad?
Don't fuck with anybody's dad,
Yeah.
apparently.
Unless they have glaucoma, then you're in the clear. You're good.
What happened to the
That's
pistol?
the case.
Did that like get passed down to the family?
Oh man, wouldn't that be great?
It
I would
should
love-
have.
Yeah, it should have. Right. I'll have to dig up that.
I'm
part
sure
of
he
the
probably
story.
had to sell it at some point.
He probably did. He probably got back, and that was like, that's a good dramatic conclusion for this, right? So he gets back, and he has to sell the pearl-handled pistol just to. I mean, that's
And then
what-
the
what
person he
pays for
sells
the
it to
sisters.
like pulls off a mask, and it's the guy, and he shoots him. That's what it is. Well, did I ever tell you the story about the time I was in?
Yeah.
We were at one of our screenings for Red vs. Blue at the Lincoln Center, and we all went out to drink at that Irish bar.
Oh yeah. Well, my sister was there.
Yeah. Jane,
Yeah.
your sister was there.
Yeah.
And listen, can we?
No. I know. No.
All right.
No.
All right.
No.
You-
Why would you even want to?
tell
Why would you even want to bring it up? I don't know why you would want to bring it up.
There's two. Because it's not a true story.
Okay, but why,
it's not a true story. There's two stories that we tell, and here's a story that I
Okay,
told about how you and I
why-
met.
I don't
and
know.
you came to me
why
one day
you
and
would want
said,
to say that though. Why would you bring it up?
"Because I don't want you telling that
Everybody,
story
I don't
anymore."
tell it. I don't go around. I wasn't going to tell it here.
Okay.
But now you're going to bring it up. Now I have to tell it.
There's
You
a
brought
story.
it up, now
you
I
asked
have
me
to
to
tell
tell
it.
the story correctly, not tell it in a
That's not
funny
the
way.
real stuff. Okay.
And I stopped telling
That's
the story.
not the truth.
I stopped telling the story.
I didn't tell the story either. You brought it up just now. Why would I tell it? I said
How do
my
I tell
sister
your
said she
story?
was in New York. I can't mention my sister for the rest of my life.
Matt has a very good-looking sister.
Oh my God.
And when you're 21, 22 years old, your friends comment on that.
Yeah.
And I commented on how good-looking your sister was. So Matt tells the story for the next 25 years. He tells it this way. And Bernie came up to me and goes, "Yeah, man, your sister looks just like you. She's so fucking hot." Who would say those words? Who would say that? You embellish the story with this thing where it's
Why
like,
I wouldn't even think of that in the first place. Why would I make that up?
because she's your sister and you're mad.
But what am I mad about?
Because your friend is going, "God, your sister's hot, dude. What's going on?"
Oh my God.
Jane's lovely, by the way.
Anyway, Bernie and I used to date.
We lived together.
We lived together for a long time. How long did we live together? Like 5 years?
Yeah. Was it that long? Talk about our apartment had rats.
Oh, well,
like-
it probably we probably had the apartment together for 5 years, but didn't actually live there together for 5 years.
Yeah, you moved away to LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. You and Joel did when you guys were
Yeah.
doing your LA stuff.
Yeah.
And then Vic, the actual person Vic, showed up at the apartment
Right.
to replace you because you were staying at this place in Venice.
Yeah, we switched.
We should go
And
find that place. Do you remember where that place was in Venice?
I do. I remember exactly where it is. It was on Navy at the end of the street, the last apartment building on the right.
By the way, 100% ruined my impression of real estate in Los Angeles because the first place that Matt lived
Was this
in Los Angeles was literally half a block off of Venice Beach.
It was unbelievable.
Like you would walk out the front door, turn to your right, and there's the fucking ocean
Yeah.
right there.
If anybody who's listening or watching knows it's right where Venice and Santa Monica, like kind of where the border is. It's technically Venice. It's Navy Street. There's a Davy Jones liquor locker.
Yeah.
Is there in the corner?
Basically, start in Santa
but
Monica.
when you get to the ocean,
Start walking south till you get mugged. And then you're
exactly.
there.
Yeah.
That's
As soon as you get mugged, you know you're in
you're in the
Venice.
right place.
Yeah.
I was looking at like
I used to. You know where I used to. You remember where I used to park?
at a church? Or
No,
something?
no. Sometimes I just have to park wherever because
Yeah.
there's no place to park. But I would park behind a dumpster, and if they didn't put the dumpster back in just the right way, you couldn't park there. But it was a designated space. It was supposed to be a real space, but it was like parking space / dumpster.
And they would just like encroach on the
Yeah,
space. with it?
So it was the weirdest situation because it was like the apartment itself was kind of scuzzy and gross, but it was right in the ocean, so you just didn't care.
Mhm.
It was an interesting first place to live in LA.
It was. And like I said, as
Kinda
someone
ruined
you
it.
were just out of college, we had no money whatsoever.
No,
And you lived half a block from the
Yeah.
beach. I still don't understand
at
that
one
to this
point
day.
Joel moved in with us, and then so it was me and Vic, and because Vic had come back, and I remember what was going on in Austin at that time. I guess you just had the apartment to yourself
I did.
at that point, right?
And then he came down to just hang out.
but then after that he came back, or did he go back and forth twice?
Yeah, he
But
did.
at some point he came back to Venice, and so it was, and then Joel had come either right before or right after that or something, and so all three of us were together, and that's when Vic would trick us into eating weird things.
Oh, trick you, not me.
No, me and Joel.
Yeah.
and I'm sure he tricked you. He must have tricked you
Probably.
plenty of times.
Yeah, probably.
he's kind of he's kind of a prankster. Especially like, and you never believe it has salmonella. Hello.
This is, by the way, if you haven't figured out yet, this is the guy that the character Vic in
Vic
Red
is
vs. Blue is based
after.
on. Because we all had
He
Vic
changed
impressions for
he
years.
He changed his name though.
Yes.
His name's not Vic anymore. I don't remember his real name.
I believe his
now.
name is now is Lucian.
Lucian. That's a good name.
Yeah. And also,
He's good friends with Bill Nye, right?
weird connection, Bill Nye.
Yeah, I think he's good friends with Bill Nye and also Freddie.
Freddie Wong. Yeah. I think he taught Freddie Wong at USC.
Oh, right.
Which was the weirdest connection. I think, and Freddie told me that he put the connection together independently. He's like,
Oh,
and
really?
showed-
Really?
from what I understand, Freddie Wong, years before we met him, was the guy who showed Vic Red versus Blue and said, "This guy is based on
Oh,
you. I'm 100% sure."
Dude, that's totally me.
Dude, no
Can't
way.
believe they were doing my wife like that. I don't
Dude,
think
doesn't sound
anything like
anything
that.
you, dude. All right. Well, since our CEO, Ashley, do you have anything else you want to add before we say good evening to you? I have to do business in front of the CEO here.
No, I think we agreed that that it's your fault, so I'm done here.
Okay. But for the record, Matt looks nothing like his sister. I just want to be clear with you about that.
I'm
No,
gonna
no,
get
she's hot though.
I'm getting
She's
it.
hot though. Remember, she came over.
There
They
we
came over
go.
for swimmies.
There we go.
I'm gonna find a picture
And
of my sister.
yeah, she's a good looking lady.
You know, find a Photoshop thing with Matt's face
Oh
over
my
her.
god, that's great. Somebody just photoshopped me with long hair.
All right.
Tweet that so I can just
Everyone
hold it up.
knows how much our podcast host, Gus, loves his dogs, Oswald and Benjamin. Are those their names? Gus was telling me that he was on the lookout for cool functional accessories for his dogs. Actually, come on back for a second. And he came across awesome new collar called Link AKC. And it's not just a collar. You know, I was said to him about this when he's telling me about this thing. I asked him if they have it for cats also. And he goes, no, this is a dog collar. It's terrible.
Don't be snooty. Cats need collars too, because cats will actually leave your yard and go somewhere else. They need people to be able to be like, you belong to this person.
Joe the cat is a dog-sized cat, so hopefully we can get one for him. But this is backed by the American Kennel Club. The Link AKC collar is a GPS locator, awesome, fitness tracker, and more, all controlled through a smartphone app. And because Gus is basically obsessed with dogs, Gus loves the GPS locator because it tells him exactly where his dogs are. I'm also obsessed with knowing where my pets are at all points in time. There's no more, did they get out of the yard? Did the dog walker take them where they're supposed to go? You can see exactly where your dog is at all times right on your smartphone app. It's a complete peace of mind for dog owners. My favorite part is the activity and wellness tracker. Gus's favorite part is the activity and wellness tracker. It doesn't matter how old the dog is or what kind of dog it is. Link AKC shows the exact amount of activity every dog needs. I don't know if it'd be great if they made this for cats, but it would be just a flat line.
You need it
all
for
day,
fish.
all day long. Oh, stop it. How dare you? Everyone who sees this thing loves it. It's easy to set up with sizes for every dog. It even won the CES Best of Innovation Award of 2017. Link AKC is super comfortable and looks great on Oswald and Benjamin. He wrote that for me to say. I know he did. Call to action. Take advantage of the Link AKC summer sale for big savings on a collar to help you keep your dog safe, happy, and healthy. Plus, as a special thank you for supporting the Rooster Teeth podcast, use Rooster Teeth at checkout and linkakc.com to save even more and get free shipping. That's Rooster Teeth code at linkakc.com. That's linkakc.com and use the code Rooster Teeth. And Gus will be very happy that you're keeping your dog safe. Like his
That is
dogs,
pretty cool, actually.
Oswald and the other one, whatever the other one's name is. Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
I feel like I'm gonna get one of these things and throw it on Joe the cat just for the hell of it.
No, that's great. Remember when Joe went missing for 3 weeks?
Right? We were we took a brief little vacation this last weekend, and we were constantly wishing we had a way to track Joe. Making sure he was there. We're looking at we have cameras that we can see. We were looking at the cameras and watching the cats poop.
Right. Well, and we also figured out we now have a pet raccoon.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, I actually kind of like the
Moving
raccoon.
up in the world.
He came in through the cat's door, and he was eating poop out of the litter box. And it's like, at first, I was mad, but I was like, can't get mad at that, bro.
Did I tell you my uncle's raccoon story?
It's a weird segue. Go ahead. What happened to your uncle and a raccoon?
So they had lives in Dallas. They had the pet door, like the regular pet door, but in the bottom of the thing. But theirs was weird where it came in instead of being in the door, it was in the wall, and then it went into a hall closet.
Oh, okay.
And then there was another space after that. And I don't know if they thought the closet's like a mud room for the animal or why it's set up that
contained.
way. Yeah. But that's how it was set up. And then one night they heard scratching and crazy stuff in the kitchen, got up and goes in there and sees a raccoon. And the raccoon's like tearing up the kitchen, eating bread and just doing whatever.
Horrible
They're horrible.
Yeah.
And claws, and you know how they are. And it's like, oh man, well, this is a problem, and tried to show him out or whatever. But raccoon comes back later. They realize the problem is the pet door, right?
Sure.
Come in and do that. So
I would have
a great
assumed that
idea,
immediately.
right? Of
Yeah.
course. So you're trying to edit my story as I tell it. So they get a cage that closes when something walks into it, right?
Little trap.
Little trap. They put that in the closet, right? Where the one little pet door is, right? Comes in through there. Problem solved, right?
Right.
So in the middle of the night, they hear the ka-chung, right? The little cage closing, and then just like craziness and like wild banshee, like just and scratching and just like horrible stuff for like 2 hours. And they're afraid to go in the door. It's like, there's this rabid raccoon that's gone nuts, right? And so finally in the morning, they go in there and they open the door and they look in and open a door at eye level. They're looking at where all their coats and jackets should be, and they're all gone. They're like, well, that's weird. And then you look down, and the cage is one of those with like the little, like wire mesh with like little hole openings like that big, right? The raccoon had bonked around crazily, gotten so furious and grabbed like thick leather coats and all this crazy stuff, and in its fury pulled them into this cage with it and destroyed all of their winter coats, like everything, like everything in their closet.
Could be a couple grand worth of damage.
It could be. So they left the house, and the raccoon lives there by itself now.
The raccoon die from pulling in all these things?
No. It was actually it was like
a box of shredded clothes.
In there, just in a box of shredded clothes, going like that.
I feel like I should send Control a raccoon video that I saw the other day. Can you guys look at the guy who fights the raccoon on his porch? Raccoon. I'll try to come up with the video for you guys. But yeah, don't mess with raccoons. They're just like they're horrible animals. They're vicious. One thing I ran into.
Everybody wants to make a hat out of them, but it's not worth it.
You rarely ever run into. We look up raccoon versus man broom. Look up that one if you could, please. I saw though an animal that I wish I saw more living in Texas, and I think people think we see them all the time.
What's that?
An armadillo, and I saw an armadillo.
When we were in Vito, I've seen them all the time.
Yeah, I love them. They're so stupid.
Yeah,
they're just.
But they're as bad. They're as horrible as bats, though, in terms of they carry
leprosy.
And
I don't know that they give people leprosy though. I also know if you get leprosy, if that's like a done deal. Seems like they can cure that now. Yeah, they got like a thing. They give you like
the guy in Game of Thrones with the scale stuff. Whatever that thing's called.
Jorah Mormont.
It's like he looks like he's like, if you're from Texas, it looks like he's turning into an armadillo.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right? That's the disease.
That's
like, eventually you'll just be able to ball up and roll away.
The Texas platypus.
The Texas platypus.
The armadillo.
That's the perfect name for it.
They're just so weird. They're like part pig, part bug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part
rat.
Squish.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Oh,
got the raccoon in there.
God,
raccoon came attacked him. He's like, fuck you, get out of here.
That's not even a big.
And then let's keep watching. The raccoon's like, fuck you, buddy.
Yeah. They're horrible.
Oh, apparently,
really bad.
When somebody told the story previously of that, showed that video, she had little babies in that little hose container. So she was not going to leave her babies.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Even if he's swinging that
or
broom
she
at
might have had a leather coat. You never know.
She might have
protective.
Go to the
so
cat
you
door.
saw an armadillo and...
I just wish I saw them more,
You know what's really horrible is armadillo roadkill.
Oh, it's bad.
I saw that this morning.
Horrible. Oh, it's awful, isn't it?
There was one on the road and it was cracked open like a melon.
Oh,
it
God.
was so sad.
You guys made this terrible story.
It's terrible. Well, I tell you what I saw the other night. I went out to we're shooting Bloodfest, and so I went out there because one of the locations we're shooting right now, it's like way out, and there was like a pack of. I couldn't quite tell. They were either wild dogs or coyotes.
They're scary, aren't they?
They look more like wild dogs. And there's probably like 10 of them.
Yep.
And when I came around the corner, it's dark and it's a desolate, empty road, dirt road. And I came around the corner and I saw them kind of look over at the car, and then they like scurried off. And then I like drove up kind of parallel to where they were and slowed down and looked over, and I see them and they're all just waiting, looking at me. Like you could tell, like, if this fucker opens the door, makes the wrong move, we got him.
You're eyeballing you.
We are fucking waiting for this guy to do the wrong thing. If he steps out, that's it for him. It's real. I mean, you can see like the pack mentality, like in their eyes. They're ready to jump out and do some damage.
I always think like cats to me have the worst poker faces.
Oh,
because you can completely read the intentions on a cat's face. Like the moment something happens and their ears flatten out and their eyes get super big, you're like, what the fuck? Get away from me.
Well, this is a well-known fact. That's why it's dogs playing poker and not cats playing poker.
Because dogs have better poker faces.
That's right.
Even when they have the pack mentality.
That's right. That's right.
So how's Bloodfest going? Doing a horror comedy.
It's great. It's really great. The cast is awesome.
Yeah.
They're all really cool. And
they seem like they're really bonding
different.
The way the Day 5 cast is bonded.
Really, they got great chemistry, and Jacob has been hilarious. I think a lot of people. I feel like maybe he might be the most well known right now because of the Spider-Man movie. He's really funny. Robbie's just awesome, and Seychelles been fantastic, and Barbara's doing amazing. And Nick's in it too. Nick Rutherford's in it. I don't know if I think we announced that.
I don't know. Well, we did now.
Yeah.
So Nick Rutherford from Crunch Time.
Nick's great,
among other things.
Yeah, Nick's really great, and so it's just a super solid cast. They're really good.
Yeah, and it's funny because we had about 4 or 5 different horror projects that we were talking about.
Yeah,
that we hadn't done a horror movie of any kind, and we wanted to do that, and then we discovered the story in Bloodfest that we really liked.
So I think people probably know that George Romero, for you, was a big inspiration.
Oh, huge inspiration.
And Sam Raimi for me was a huge inspiration. And I don't really consider either one of us like horror guys per
that's
se,
fair.
but I think like when I think of like one filmmaker that super inspired me, like Sam Raimi is like in my top 3 for sure.
Sam Raimi specifically from
Evil Dead. Yeah.
Because he also did Spider-Man.
Right.
But
yes. Yeah. They're kind of making it confusing in this conversation. Yeah. But like Evil Dead 2 was like one of the first movies I saw where I was like, what is this? Are you allowed to make a movie this way?
Yeah.
I want to make weird stuff like this. That's crazy.
No, I agree. I remember my brother renting Evil Dead. The first Evil Dead is actually super scary.
It's super scary, and it's a little more straightforward than
definitely more straightforward. Yeah. Evil Dead 2 is like a LSD fever dream. I don't know how you would describe that movie.
Are there other like I could probably name like my top 4 filmmakers that I was like, that's amazing. I've never seen anybody do that.
Yeah.
Or heard of somebody doing it in that way, and I want to do it. Are there others like for you? Like who comes to mind?
I mean, I would say Spielberg, but you could definitely make the argument that Jaws is a horror movie.
Oh, for sure.
I mean,
absolutely.
It's a weird classification. I don't know. I guess it would fall under drama or something, but it's definitely, especially the way they ended up having to shoot Jaws because of the failure of the robotic shark.
Mm-hmm.
They had to shoot it like in his own words. It made him more like Alfred Hitchcock than Roger Corman. Wasn't that what he said about it? Yeah. Because he couldn't show the shark for the first 3/4 of the movie. He just had to imply the shark was there. And it was super fucking scary. So, yeah, Spielberg was a huge influence on me. You know? Also, George Lucas, he had those prequels. Those were a horror.
Those were horror.
They were fucking terrible.
Sure, yeah.
No, but I'd say Spielberg, and it's like I don't consider myself a super violent filmmaker either.
Right.
I don't like tend that way, but like Tarantino, I just like. And remember in college how nuts I was for Tarantino.
Oh, absolutely.
I just thought it was amazing.
Yeah. You get to meet him that time at that screening.
Dude, I think back on that now.
That
it was Pulp Fiction. It was the first place. So the TV station we're talking about with the bats was in the basement of an auditorium. It was a theater, an old school like Art Deco theater called Hog Auditorium on the UT campus, University of Texas, and we would sometimes go up and watch movies behind the screen. They were flipped.
That's right. We'd watch them backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'd have to watch them, basically like left to right flipped.
Saw like every John Woo movie that way.
Doves.
And yeah, it was great.
and everything.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, after Pulp Fiction won the Cannes Film Festival, the first place it showed in the U.S. was at Hog Auditorium. They came out for a special screen. I think Linklater put it together and got him there.
Oh, that
and I
makes
loved
sense.
Reservoir Dogs, so I thought I'll go see this guy's movie or whatever. So I was in the screening, and then, like Tarantino was there, and I'm pretty sure maybe Robert Rodriguez was there, and everything. It was like, and then just for getting up and talking about it to the crowd afterwards, it was incredible. It was amazing. So it was, and I think I remember going into Pulp Fiction, and I don't know if it had come out yet, but I remember talking to my girlfriend at the time and telling her, this is the guy that wrote Natural Born Killers, which who the fuck cares about Natural Born Killers now?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fictions are American classics.
Absolutely.
Other girlfriends, Bernie, you playing?
Sorry. I'll tell your dad about it. We can talk it over.
Get the pearl-handled pistol.
Well, you may be able to feature an ex-leprosy victim because it turns out it is curable now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Noted here, it says antibiotics used during the treatment will kill any bacteria that cause leprosy, but while the treatment can cure the disease and prevent it from getting worse, it doesn't reverse nerve damage or physical disfiguration that may have occurred before the diagnosis.
Ooh.
So you could have someone who
and getting it cured will get you kicked out of the Citadel, too.
It seems like that's the disease where it's like the armadillo is trying to turn you into another armadillo.
That's how they propagate.
That's how they make armadillos.
Right? That's how they make them. Like that's the reproductive mechanism. Is eventually you just...
Yeah, and then you're walking along with your bug shell and everything else. When you were talking about Vic moving in too, I think what happened was at that point in time, I was living in the apartment alone, but that was also when I first started dating Jordan was during that time.
Oh, yeah.
And you had met her. And I was going to make the comment we were talking about earlier. It's like, but you know how that is when you're first dating someone, you become inseparable. But you've been dating Anna. Like, I've never.
Well, you become inseparable.
Yeah. Like clearly, you two have become inseparable. How long have you guys been together now?
Gosh, a lot. But I should answer this quickly.
It's not a quiz.
So she didn't think I don't know.
We can cut this.
Since high school.
Yeah, since high school.
We're
right?
high school sweethearts. Yeah.
Yeah, and we know several people like that. like Alan Richardson from Laser Team.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
His wife
same
and Ed
thing.
Robertson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. Them too. Yeah.
It's just like that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's like, and I can remember like hearing about Anna.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, oh, he's my buddy's high school girlfriend that goes to a different college. And I was like, that's not gonna last. you know, typically. But it's crazy how that stuff works over time. Like, do you remember the first time you heard about Ashley? Do you remember, like, how did you guys meet?
Gosh, I want to say I'm dragging this out because I'm trying to remember. Seattle, something in Seattle.
Yeah, we went on a trip to Seattle.
Seattle, and is there a place that we eat? What's the hamburger place?
Oh, burger.
Burger.
Is that Lunchbox Laboratory?
Yeah, that sounds right.
No, is it Lunchbox Laboratory?
Yeah.
Burger Master.
No. Oh, not our place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. No, our place is special.
Yeah, it is special.
I would never confuse that. No, they.
I only
think
take
that's
people
what it
there
is.
who are as hot as
The
Matt's sister.
Lunchbox Laboratory is the place where they have like the burger that confuses you, right?
Yeah, they're all weird,
Yeah.
crazy. Great place in Bellevue.
No, it's fantastic. It's so confusing. But I think that was the place that was that we were eating there or something, and you said something about I was, here. Maybe just in Seattle, but I feel like that was when the first time you brought up Ashley.
I think that was like our third date was in Seattle. Weirdly,
But-
I mean, depending on how you count, it might have been our second. We went up for the Halo premiere.
that is correct. That's what we did. Did you know Matt before that? Because she knew Gus and Jeff before we started dating.
Yeah, I don't think I
Oh,
knew
really?
Matt.
Yeah,
I
well,
think
did
I
you
knew
meet
Gus
at them
and-
at like a PAX or something?
Yeah, like I think I met Gus like first PAX.
There's
That's,
pictures
that's
of you
why
and
I
Gus
thought
together.
that's why I thought I knew Bernie.
Yeah,
At a PAX.
she only went out with me in Australia because she thought she knew me already.
I was
That it.
there. I was probably just already blackout drunk, and that's why we didn't meet.
Yeah, you know what bugs me? Can I say something knowing you this long? I don't like that you're so much more. I don't like, first of all, that you're good at music, which, by the way, I have matches here. We're going to test something in a
Oh
second.
God, come on.
I don't like that you're so much better at music than. I mean, I'm zero, and you. How many instruments can you play?
Half of one.
No, come on, you know the number.
I don't. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's like they're not.
It's more than 10, right?
Yeah, but not good. Not well.
Well, I can't play them at all. Like if I pick
Okay.
one up, it's like hot cross buns and out of tune, everything. So I don't like that. I also don't like the fact that out of the two of us, you're the fun drunk. Like people,
What?
when I get drunk, people are like, oh shit. When you get drunk, people get all excited.
But you hardly ever get drunk. I got more
don't.
practice at it.
Yeah, you're just more memorable. I'm just a jerk. So Matt did this thing. Matt used to be able to do this thing.
I can't do it anymore.
What is your primary instrument that you played for the longest amount of time?
My son was just calling me. I wonder if he's watching.
Not a fanfare. Not watching.
Yeah, no.
Is that haunting you? The fanfare
Oh
thing?
God, every day.
Saxophone, right?
I played saxophone a lot in high school. Yeah,
So wind instruments primarily.
I played a lot of wind instruments. Yeah,
So Matt had this talent we discovered in college that Matt can blow out a
You learn-
match from an extraordinarily long distance. Like they'll do a test where you can blow it out at basically arm's length,
right.
and some people can't do it. Matt could do it from. I mean, we got
I
up
do
to
it
like
from
20,
across the room.
25 feet away, and you could blow a match out. From
Right.
it. You want to try this?
I'll try it.
Okay.
Okay. I'm set. You're
spit
setting
on
me up
me.
for failure. There's no. I might. It might just be like. I don't think there's any way I can do it.
It's been a while since you tried. Can I do it over here?
Yeah.
Is that a good distance?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, we're gonna try this, and then we got to wrap this up. All right, here. Match is lit.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold it up.
It's more about like the precision than the actual wind. I think. Like you breathe from the diaphragm.
I got the match.
Oh, I did it. I did it.
The match went
I did
out. That's you've
did
gotten
it.
crafty in your old age, Matt. All right, you ready?
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna light this. I'm gonna hurt myself.
All
All
right, let's
right,
see if I
we're
can
gonna
do
set up a smoke alarm here. Close.
Oh.
Go again. He's lost it.
Can't do it anymore.
See how like I did it? It was right there. No problem. But you used to be able to do it 25 foot. You gotta work on it, dude.
Yeah.
Gotta work on it. If you don't work on those skills, they
that's
atrophy.
sad. That was like, oh man.
But that was like 10 feet away.
Yeah, but
Ish.
Yeah, ish. A lot of ish in that.
So
Oh,
I think we've talked about that before. We had people send us a bunch of clips of them doing it from as far away as they could. So
Yeah.
I'm curious, like if anyone has any video clips.
It's really
of them.
about the aim more so, I think, than
So your
if
aim's off?
my aim's off. I think if you're good at flute, probably you're better at it than other wind.
Why?
Well, just because it like being able to direct the stream of air.
Like your hair into the thing?
Yeah.
What's that thing called?
The fluff, fluff, fluff.
The thing. It's like
called the fluff, fluff, fluff.
there's no reed that goes in there. It's just like a hole, right? It's like
It's
a whistle.
the mouthpiece of the ligature. Is it embouchure? Embouchure is how you hold your mouth.
I'd be the kid with the fucking triangle
Yeah.
in the band. That's what it is? What's that? There's no reed
There's
in
no
a
reed
in a flute.
Oh, a flute. I thought
Yeah.
you were still on sax.
No. He said we're good on that. He got mad at me one time because I took a saxophone one night when we were drunk and I played it and I broke the reed and you were legitimately mad at me. And I learned that reeds
that
are like
really?
$12.
They weren't even that mad. I think that you can get a lot of cheap reeds. I think I just had an expensive reed at the time.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and in college, I guess $12 is a lot.
Oh, it is. When
Yeah.
you're like, that's $12. You owe me $12. I was like, where am I gonna get $12?
Yeah.
So it's like I legitimately
Yeah.
was like thinking about
Where am
like
I gonna
had a
get
budget
$12?
for the next month of where I was gonna get the $12 to give you for the fucking read. Dude, I think our apartment was like I want to say it was like $325 a month.
Yeah.
You know that we lived in.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
That was total. Like we each
Yeah.
paid like $175.
and the rats paid like $5 each.
There was a rat every time I left the front door. There's no rats anywhere in Austin.
Yeah.
I saw a rat every day I lived
We
in
got
that
rats at our
apartment.
house.
Do you?
Yeah.
We had, I guess we had some rat-ish
We
problems
just-
at the old place because we were by the river.
do you
If you
know-
get close to the river, you got problems.
If you live in Austin, the place I've seen the most rats at one time is so gross. Is the intersection of Old Torf and 35 at that light right there.
Yeah.
When you're going north and you exit and you get off right there, look over at the hill
Okay.
that goes down to the highway. On some nights you will see, like, especially in the summer, you will see like the ground moving and it's just like it's all rats.
What?
Yeah.
You freak out about rats too.
I don't like
remember-
rats. I don't like rats at all.
You
I
drove
don't-
to Houston for you used to do photography.
I used to do photography. I do remember that. It was like
You saw a rat in Houston, it freaked you out.
well, it was not that. It was running across the highway.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you here?
Something set up for a
It's
joke.
like at that point, if a rat is like a rat should be looking for food and water all the time,
all the time.
or other rats to fuck. And so if you have time to run across a highway where there's nothing for you, you have too much rat time on your hands. You need to be engaged in the rat activities that will keep you alive. And if you have enough time to just fuck around going, you know what? I'm just going to play Frogger with a couple cars. And you have a rat problem in your town. Like, that's too many rats.
So I don't have time to send this to you guys in the booth, but
Houston's filthy, by the way.
I just wanted to say that I want to thank Twitter user Alex Copt. He found a picture of Matt's sister.
That's
There's Matt's
100%.
sister right there.
Wait, put it next to my face. Nobody. Why are you holding it?
What?
Here, look. Wait a minute.
I just want to say for the record, it's your face. It's your face.
See, look. What? Quit changing the fucking camera. There, look.
That's his sister. That's lovely Jane.
Now you can make out with your laptop.
All right, Matt. I can't believe we still get along after all this time.
We don't at all.
I can't believe
It's all
it.
for show.
Are you surprised that we still get along after all this time? Do you get along with anybody else that you've known as long as me besides Lupton?
Yeah.
Everyone has one dopey. Everyone has one dopey friend that they have for their whole life. And
Well,
Lupton is.
I'm definitely John's dopey friend.
Are you?
As opposed to the other way around. Absolutely.
Didn't Lupton? Didn't one time he fart so bad that he made himself throw up?
He did. Yeah. He did. He was. It was him and Ashok were in a car. And like it was raining like torrential rains, and they couldn't roll the window down, and they had just eaten like a huge greasy like McDonald's breakfast or something. And then Jonathan like, this will be funny. I'm gonna like make Ashok gag, and so he farted like super bad, but it was so bad he made himself throw up.
That was like the only thing I knew about this guy before I met him for like 4 years.
Yeah.
That was it. And then he stopped, nice guy, stopped to change somebody's tire on the Atlanta freeway and ended up changing all 4 of their tires. And it took him like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
Because they were the wrong size.
he's a super good Samaritan kind of a guy.
Yeah, willing to help people out.
Yeah.
All right, Matt, I hope we can still have a conversation with each other
Nah.
20 years from now.
Nah. We'll see.
We'll see. All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. Matt's got to go back to work now.
I gotta go find pictures of my sister to not show Bernie.
No.